You said this place was steps from the water.
We just haven't found the steps yet.
How much did we save?
Enough.
Enough to get lost?
Or you could book a stay with Hilton.
Welcome to your oceanfront room, just steps from the water.
The Hilton sale is on now. Book on Hilton.com or the Hilton app and save up to 20% to get the stay you expected. When you want savings, not surprises, it matters where you stay. Hilton, for the stay.
Some things are impossible to miss, like an elephant in the room, or a bull in a china shop, or this season's amazing offers, brought to you by PayPal. Discover offers from hundreds of brands like Viator, Allbirds, and Tory Burch right in the PayPal app. Save an offer before you check out with PayPal and earn unlimited rewards. Download the PayPal app to get started. Terms and exclusions apply. See paypal.com/rewards terms.
Hey, welcome back. In this week's episode, we're going to be talking about lipstick on a pig, heroin chic,
and baggy skin.
Baggy skin. Yeah, stay tuned. It's a good one. How's it going? Welcome back.
I didn't know who was doing it there. Hello, welcome back
to another episode of
Oh Right Yeah.
Oh Right, I Right Yeah.
Oh Right Yeah. We're getting really good at that, aren't we?
I think we are. I think we're nailing it.
Yeah. Right, let's go.
How are you doing, Abby? How are you feeling?
I'm pretty good. I'm trying to think of the topic that we're going to launch into.
Well, we wanted to talk about like image. You said you started
it off
that
part, but you go ahead.
You said preening.
Yeah, like self-care, like tweezering out the hair.
Physical. Yeah, lovely.
That I forgot to do this morning.
Charming.
Yeah.
I was actually, as I was putting lipstick on for this episode, and I was like, oh yeah, thank you very much.
Do you feel different when you wear it?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Do you remember when you got into your jammies and you're in bed messaging me with full face makeup? You're like, I feel like a pig for some reason.
Yeah, like a what do they call it? Like a pig with makeup or something, or like a tarted up pig or something. I felt really weird.
A pig wearing lipstick.
Pig wearing lipstick. That's it. Yeah. Thank you, Jack.
I don't get the pig thing, but anyway.
So there's a saying, but I didn't have makeup on for a couple of weeks. And I quite liked it, do you know what I mean? Because I was really sick.
I never
anyway.
wore it.
There was you never.
Used to do just the eyeliner and mascara. That's it.
Did you? When?
I would still have been wearing it when I met Audrey. 6 years ago.
Really?
And then it kind of fizzled out.
Yeah.
The more allergies I discovered.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I'd wear makeup on. I'd be foundation, concealer, blusher, eyeshadow most
on
days.
the daily.
On the daily now, when I'm sick, I was thinking about not bothering today, and I was like, fuck it, I'll be annoyed later. I don't. If I'm going to be kind of out and about and seen, but I would go a whole day without wearing makeup for work and stuff. You know, there's a good filter on the old Teams channel stuff. You can kind of not look beautiful,
badly done makeup,
beautiful soft focus. Yeah. You know, when Mars gets shot with the shotgun. Dad, you had the setting to whore.
Pillow marks and everything.
Yeah.
Like. Hi guys.
But I don't. I mean, I think I would be very self-conscious about my image now. I do. I think I'm getting better with age. But
how often would you look in the mirror?
We were saying this in the last episode. I would go to the mirror if I'm on my own twice a day. But if I'm at a work do around people I don't know, I would go and check. Like I just went after an episode there. I was like, oh my god, my makeup was all kind of drying out on my nose. So I do. I'd be a makeup person for sure. And I started on the old fake tan there.
Did you?
Yeah, which you know all about.
I did.
And I
noticed it.
The Dove one's pretty good. I started back on it. And I actually felt like when I was in the hospital, I was like, oh God, I'm really pale. And it instantly makes me feel better. It's the gradual fake tan now because I wouldn't be arsed with the short.
Yeah, psychosomatic placebo effect.
That's the thing. I read
the old fake tan.
I was reading an interview with a known feminist. She was
you picked that up and didn't drink out.
I was getting the warmth.
Sorry.
She was a well-known French feminist. She was part one of a duo of feminist directors, and she did a film in the 70s or 80s called Baise Moi, which means rape me. Yeah. And it was them going around like sexually attacking men. It was a super man-hater feminist. Mm-hmm. And the journalist went in to talk to her. She said, I've noticed you've got lipstick on. I mean, that's kind of anti-feminist kind of thing? And the woman said, no, but I like to look good for me. It doesn't mean I'm doing anything
outwardly portraying something for somebody else.
Totally. And, you know, kind of being playing into the chauvinist's hand kind of thing. So there is an element of like, am I doing this for me? We talked about shaving recently. I was talking about shaving and like underarm shaving, right? And Danielle said, "Oh, would you just not bother shaving or something?" And I said, "Oh, because that's because I'd swap deodorant."
No, I would do it for hygiene purposes.
I would do it because I like it. And I was like, no, Virgo said I wouldn't care if he did or he didn't. And I was like,
it's only fucking hair at the end. I wouldn't care either.
But I think there is a bit of me.
Not that I'd be looking under your arms at any point.
Yeah,
in our
exactly.
relationship. Hopefully not. Anyway,
hopefully not. But like, I think there's part of me, and it is probably just a preconditioned part of me that thinks that's not nice because it doesn't make sense that I hate the hair under my arms. It's not a hygiene thing for me. It's just
I think it's just the way we grew up.
It's the way we grew up, and I'm okay with that.
The 90s was very hairless. Let's be honest.
Oh my God, I've destroyed my eyebrows.
Very hairless.
Very hairless, very fatless. When you look back at some of the reels of like, look at what we grew up in.
So thin.
I recently watched So Thin. Like they were talking to Nicole, part of the Paris and Nicole, and they were saying to her like, you're just that bit thicker, and how do you feel about that? And she's fucking size 6, like, do you know what I mean? She's just not a rake.
Oh yeah, you watched that show.
Yeah.
It's just horrific.
And the America's Next Top Model show, and like, you know, they're mostly kind of defending / not defending themselves, but one of the lines that comes through the most is, it was just the time. And it is kind of true. Like when I think about the stuff I would have said or done, I grew up, my grandmother was a kind of fat shamer. She would have been like, I think Laura looks fatter today, or I think Danielle looks fatter today. Do you know?
Playing you off each other.
Oh,
that's
all the
fucking
time.
Traumatizing.
I mean, our whole lives were compared, you know.
Jesus
so when I had
Christ.
Lewin, I put on about, I went up a size, definitely. I was always kind of a 10 or a 12, and then I went up to size 14. And I struggled with that immensely because Danielle never put on baby weight, really, you know, not noticeably, and I did. So it was always the like, when people asked us in our 30s, you know, how do you can tell the difference, and they hadn't seen Danielle, I'd be like, well, different body types. So that's kind of hard, like, to kind of get the hang of that, because I've got a walking, talking mirror who's thinner than me. So the kind of weight thing is difficult, you know. And so you just kind of figure it out. But I think it is a battle. Like self-care these days is a battle because A, it's a pain in the arse to do. B, I'm always questioning myself. Am I doing this for the right reasons? Do I put lipstick on because I think it looks nice? Or am I trying to be attractive to the opposite sex?
That's a very kind of like, but that's an oppressive thing in itself, isn't it? Like, that's funny. I went obsessively, almost on the peak of obsessively, to the gym. To kind of
20s, early 30s,
fizzle out my anxiety and to help me sleep better, but I kind of overdid it. But to be fair, I was ripped. I had an idea. Like I was, my ex at the time was Brazilian. I was hanging around with a lot of girls with large arses, and I wanted to be part of the crew. So I worked on my butt for a really long time. But
do you have a large arse now?
I have junk in my trunk.
Go on.
And there was definitively a lot more junk in the trunk.
Let me see.
No.
Go on.
It's gotten all flat. I haven't gone to the gym in like fucking about 4 years, like properly, to do the squats and do the deadlifts.
Sticky out.
I had a 6-pack. I had huge arms. Really, like I had the.
But you
triangle
always talk
shape.
about this. So is this something you're sort of forlornly wanting to get back to? Do you want to get back?
No, I had to stop that dialogue in my head. I would look back and look at a picture of myself and go, "Oh my God, I used to look so good," and then I've become very hard on myself. I'm more inclined to say, "What can I achieve now with the age I am, with the lifestyle that I have?" I was very hard on myself, and I had to cut that out because it's not as if I've ever changed my diet for any reason at all. Even back then, I was gymming it, but I was drinking probably 3 nights a week, but also consciously, like, I would cook for myself probably more back then than I do now. I just get Audrey to do it. No, I'm joking. Get them made.
The boiled egg and the mushroom.
The squeaky egg and a mushroom. But yeah, like, I think I had to change that dialogue because I realised that it was really self-destructive, and I did have real problems with image and how I looked and being bullied, like, you know, when I was a kid for looking like a boy. And I had like a slight scoliosis in the base of my spine, which, like, you know, there's an arch on the top that overcompensates for it, but I worked on my posture a lot, and now I'm like, where I used to have a job where I'd be 15 hours on my feet walking all over the place while going to the gym, and now I stand in one place. I stand up. I don't ever sit down for work when I'm in production, but I stand up. I'm in the same position all the time. So like, it's kind of like the effort is fizzling out, but I'm trying to become more comfortable with what I can achieve.
Totally, it is about that. That is for me that
the reality of putting the hours in. But I did. I went to the gym 3 times in a row at half six in the morning, and you were like, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I absolutely love going to the gym now.
Now I hate it.
I haven't been in ages because of the stupid gallstones, but I love it now, and I really mental healthy thing for me, and it's the first time I've really gone for mental health. And I would have told myself in the past, I'm going for mental health, but before it was burning off the calories of the drink, or when I was in my 20s, I went out with a guy who would have been, I think he wasn't good for me, nothing wrong with him. I'm sure he's great for the person he's with now, but he just wasn't good for me. And as a result, I would have lost a lot of weight, and I went to the gym religiously. And there was times, and actually when we broke up, it was even worse. And I was in the gym once or twice a day, and I was eating. I'd get up and have a boiled egg, and I'd have a bowl of soup for lunch, and then I'd have a no carb dinner. So it was very, very little calories, and I really overdid it. But I have a history of eating disorders. Like I was anorexic when I was 15, and there was always going to be something was going to come out in the wash.
Does it ever fizzle into your
totally? But like I remember, the only attention we'd get was, you're very thin. We were thin growing up. We were flat chested. We were thin, And so I think I kind of must have thrived on that attention, because I remember collapsing one day. I hadn't eaten anything, and I went to the doctor, and he made me get on the scales, and
asked about your periods and whatnot,
all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I was just delighted with myself. I was like, this is great. You know what I mean? And again, trigger warning for everybody, but like,
heroin chic Kate Moss kind of style.
Do you know what's yeah? I mean, like fucking like
it's terrible.
Do you know what? My 2 best friends, Kathy Keeley and Natalie, sat me down, and they were like, "Will you fucking stop? Like, stop.
Will you have a ham sandwich?"
Yourself. No, a Ferrero Rocher it was at the time. and they were like, "Will you just fucking stop? Like, where is this going to end, Laura?"
Lipstick on your tooth.
Oh my God,
this is good content.
I know.
Wishing you could be there live for the big game, soaking up the atmosphere of the crowd. But too often, life gets busy, or the price holds you back. Priceline is here to help you make it happen. With millions of deals on flights, hotels, and rental cars, you can go see the game live. Don't just dream about the trip. Book it with Priceline. Download the Priceline app or visit Priceline.com. Actual prices may vary. Limited time offer.
LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. We cannot make your email response time faster. We can help you sell, market, and hire in one place. We cannot help you find space for your 3 desk drinks. Why do you have 3? And while we can't help you find the perfect volume for your presentation video, LinkedIn can help you find the perfect audience for your business. Grow your small business on LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/smallbusiness.
Missy? Yeah, I did.
They sat me down. I remember they were sitting on the stairs in the hall. You remember you sat in really weird places when you were teenagers? Like you wouldn't just sit on the couch.
Stairs.
Yeah, or across the back of the couch. Or fucking, yeah. They were sitting on the stairs, and they were like, "Why are you doing this?" And I was like, "Because I don't like eating." And they were like, "Well, where is this going to end for you, Laura?" And it just that all it took. That was all it took. And I went in and ate Ferrero Rocher, didn't give a shit about it. And I kind of got over it. And then I went back into it a little bit in my 20s. I was just surviving on jelly tots, weirdly. I don't know why.
Limiting yourself.
Just not eating, and I got very thin again, and I was like, "Oh, this is great." It was a sense of control, you know. And my friend, who had been battling with a very serious eating disorder for years and years, was like, I was crying at her drunk one night, and she was like, "I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to hug you. You need to cop the fuck on." She's like, "Laura, this is the worst affliction I've ever had, and I ever will have. You keep going this way, you'll get no fucking sympathy. That's all you're looking for. You're going to get no sympathy this way. You need to cop the fuck on." And again, I copped on. So I definitely have a much better relationship with food now. It's a bit funny in the last 6 weeks because I can't eat. So I'm like, "Oh, I'll eat shite." And then you get annoyed when you're eating shite. But body image, I think, for women in their 40s who are millennials, who grew up in the 90s and the formative years in the 2000s when jeans were like, the lowest they could be. Hip bones were a thing. This heroin chic look. Kate Moss famously saying, "Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels." And that gets into my head. And then you kind of go...
so sad, isn't it?
It really is. And I've actually heard Louise McSharry and Alison Spittle talked about this at length on a podcast Louise did last year around Ozempic, because they've both come out speaking about Ozempic, and I have had conversations in the past, about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when I was struggling with my weight. I was a lot bigger than I am now, and I was like, do I do the Ozempic route? Do I do it? Like, and I've always toyed with Botox. Like, I don't know if would you ever get No. I've toyed with Botox and a lot of my friends have gotten it. And I've been like, well, do I do it? And when it comes down to it, I'm not arsed, or I just kind of like, don't have the fucking justification to spend the money when our kids could be going on holidays. No judgment for anyone getting it. But then I've actually seen friends get it. And I actually don't think I think they look nicer without it. You know, that's a personal opinion, right?
Yeah.
So I was toying with this Ozempic, and I was like, because I really had tried. I had done like 2-4 week diet things, and I'd gone to the gym, but I was drinking a lot as well. But I would do 1.5 hour walks every day, and I struggled so much with Danielle, 2 sizes smaller than me, and I was
I can imagine that's
really hard
because it's in your face.
Because my body type as well, I was always flat stomach, big bum, flat stomach. No boobs really, and that was kind of my body shape. So I had to kind of learn how to dress differently, and it was really, really hard.
Do you know what? That thing is still something that's happening me currently and to this day. You know the way your wardrobe is varied, and I'm very basic. The reason I'm basic is not only maybe because I've got a little bit of a sensory sensitivity towards things that are too tight around here, or like the way I look. A lot of it through my teenage years and all the way up until today, a lot of it is because I am really particular. If I don't like a tiny little thing that nobody else might notice, I won't wear that piece of clothing.
Yeah, like that.
So I am entirely limited, and it'll not only break my confidence, it'll make me really sad and also really, really angry that I look the way I do. And this is to this day.
That's fascinating. Would you wear this shirt that I'm wearing now?
Yeah, it's flowy, but I don't think it's a good colour on me. It washes me out.
Okay, right.
Because I'm fair-haired. Well, not fair-haired.
Well, interestingly, you're not now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but like the thing is that I do still limit myself, and it's not because I'm a lesbian with no style, like. But it's because I'm just thinking about it. I'm only voicing it right now. This podcast is very cathartic for me. It's because my sensitivities to appearance, more so than my want to buy new things for myself and try new styles.
Interesting. Yeah, okay.
So, and that takes over. So I think it's the toxic nature of self-loathing and how I appear in the mirror more than, sure, I fucking hate shopping and I don't want to get new things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I think it comes into that.
But also to other people, it seems like an effort thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
she's not
people,
like she's dressing down.
No,
she's
I
always
don't.
Casual.
No,
I'm not saying you would.
Now,
I'm not saying you would, but like, if we've been to a small little event,
yes,
and you were wearing makeup, and I appeared in all black.
Yeah.
Do you know? It's also this extremely still very, very presently self-conscious thing.
Totally. And like when we go back to the Ozempic piece, right? So Alison Spittle and Louise McSharry had spoken openly about it, and I hadn't heard this before, but I was talking to somebody about it after this podcast had aired. I hadn't listened to it yet, and I was saying, because I'd lost so much weight in a short amount of time and my body started to got trimmer, which I'm delighted about now, obviously, I kind of got very resentful of people being like, you look great, you look amazing.
Really?
Because I felt really
How fucked up is that?
Because I felt really heartbroken. No, and it makes sense. And I've now since heard Alison and Louise both talking about this, really sad about that woman I was 2 years ago. Because I was struggling massively with my weight. I was struggling hugely with my self-loathing, my appearance. And I was like, there's nothing wrong with that woman. And I feel like losing weight has kind of done her dirty. It's a strange thing.
Wow.
And I've heard them both say that, and they've both confirmed it. Like, this, I feel like I'm kind of like, that woman was beautiful, and I feel bad when people say you look so great now. I'm like, what I wouldn't have done for that 3 years ago. Do you know what I mean?
Everybody's journey is different, but what we do have that is so the same is the pressure of needing to
that hasn't
thinking
changed.
that we need, not at all.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
how has it not changed?
I have absolutely no judgment for anybody who's gone down the Ozempic route. I was very close to doing it
Me
myself.
neither. I would be worried for the long-term effects. And
most of it's been kind of fear for me.
But
like
that's literally only fear-mongering bullshit that's been on social media.
But I would have people saying to me who don't struggle with their weight that much, who haven't really been on yo-yo diets and all this, why would you do that? Why would you put that? You don't fucking know. Like, you don't have a fucking clue the difficulty I face every day. Like, I'd have people giving me clothes to put on. I'm like, that's not going to fit me, because I would have dressed quite well to hide my shape a lot. And that's not going to fucking fit me. Do you know, like, and I'm in tears a lot of the time, and so much self-loathing and self-harm and all the shit that would have come from really hating where I was. So I said, I was in a good mental place, but from a physical and eating, like digestions is whatever, I was eating badly or whatever in October, and I said, fuck it, I'll get a personal trainer And if this doesn't work, I'm going on Ozempic. I think I always needed a personal trainer for this because I can't do it on my own. Motivation, stopping. Actually, it's actually about Laura, shut the fuck up, because I'd have to send pictures once every 2 weeks. I'd send him a picture. I'm like, oh, I don't think I look very good in that. And we don't do.
Shut up, that's not the point.
We don't do weighing. I said, I'm not weighing myself, Davey. I can't, because I'm going to be really obsessive over this now. And so we don't weigh. And we started doing measurements, and we stopped measuring now because my back's gotten bigger because I'm doing pull-ups and stuff. But I actually noticed that my stomach puffed out after the operation.
Obviously.
Because of the swelling. And I noticed I was starting to get those horrible thoughts back again. And I was like, fuck. And I put a bit of fake tan on, and my stomach went down a bit, and I just started to kind of go, okay, it's this lack of control. But the misery it brings women, I think, if your hair is thinning, if you've got bad skin.
Do you know, I think my hair is starting to fall out.
You've got so much hair, Abby. There's no way. You could afford to lose half of that.
I know, that's not the point.
Yeah.
I'm noticing it in my hands and in the shower. And I never used to.
My hairdresser says that it just happens once a year. You'll just lose
it. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's just the summer coming in.
Yeah, exactly.
1st of May, you lose a clump.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. And Instagram now is crazy for me, because it's like, all I get on Instagram is like tummy control clothes, hair thinning products, anti-aging,
oh my God,
all the time, because I would have engaged with these once you know, anti-aging face masks. It's all just shite. I mean, I'm not saying that because there's beautiful, stunning beauty products out there like Voya. I'm obsessed with Voya. But at the end of the day, I could look stunning and like some of the most stunning people I
look stunning
I know.
every day, and I don't use anything.
You have really good skin.
Sarah V.
Yeah, you have really good skin. There's some people that I will speak to, and they are absolutely beautiful. And the shit that comes out of their mouth about themselves. I look fat, I look terrible. I remember there was a photo being taken of me when I was 17. I was in my bikini. I was tiny and I was beautiful. I had long hair and plaits, and I just looked, I looked healthy, young, you know, fucking 17-year-old, whatever. And I saw that photo about 15 years later, and I was like, oh my God, I thought I looked fat in that photo. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the mindset. So my goal, to answer your question finally, is to just be happy in my body, and even if that's just not thinking about it for a day.
Like Audrey went on a detox diet that was just life-changing for her. She was like, I actually getting energy from the food. I actually have more energy than I did, and she gave up coffee and everything like that. And to see the pride she had in herself was just fucking unbelievable, and she did it in a really, really healthy way.
Yeah. So that's 74-year-old 50. Can I ask you, or you finished your point there?
No, I finished my point. Okay. I can't remember what I was going to say.
For 74-year-old 50, would you walk in a bikini down Greystones Main Street?
Oh yeah, because I don't know anyone.
So you're body confident then?
I wouldn't be confident.
No.
I wouldn't.
Do you have any cellulite?
Yeah, I think so.
No, you definitely don't.
No, I don't. I'm not sure that I do. I have like stretch lines from.
Do you?
From my how big my thighs and my bum was.
You know what's interesting is me and you always we actually have a lot of the same complaints, and I would have thought, because I've had 2 kids, like our complaints would be quite like
different.
But I have stretch marks. Like, your skin isn't baggy though. Let me feel your skin. You've lovely. Yeah, you're not baggy skin. Wait, after you have kids, like, look at that. So like mine's like kind of like a semi-deflated waterbed. Like your skin kind of I was so fucking swollen when I was pregnant. It's like,
so your water retention changes obviously.
And my feet, if I can get the photo, I'm going to share it on social, because it's like,
I used to take the piss out of Audrey's feet.
I had it was like a manatee's flippers,
and with the little knobbles on top for the toes.
With just little knobbles and a flip flop.
Did you have to wear the flip flop?
I didn't wear flip flops. I don't know. I didn't have to wear the socks. It's like,
Audrey,
thank God.
Oh my God, getting those socks on
when you're fucking. I just
9 months pregnant.
I was a manatee when I was pregnant. I was just absolutely. I was so much water retention. I was just huge, and I just didn't give a shit. But like, pregnancy does a number on you now. It really does. Like, I have a stomach now. I didn't before.
So stressful on the body.
Yeah.
But like, I think your goal is achievable. I think my goal is achievable, and I think my direction in not looking at photos saying, "Oh, I used to be like that."
I know,
because you find yourself pausing and kind of picking apart. Oh, my neck looks different.
I know.
And like, I think my goal is achievable. I have like, down to everything that's going on in the last 12 months. Let's say, I just don't not one thing is consistent apart from the fact that I have to go to work and get work done. On occasion. What are you joking? And shit like this has to happen. So there's no, like, even with the, we're on a holiday, so even with the gym, I brought my gym stuff. I was like, we were staying in a hotel for the first few days, and there was a gym there, and I was like, I'm going to get up at 6:30 now. And then, like, something like Jude not sleeping or something like that, it just makes it feel like it's not meant to happen.
You know, I know. Yeah, I think you have to.
Is everyone that sensitive to little bumps in the road?
Yeah. Would you ever get plastic surgery?
No.
I would.
I'm
I'd get a tummy tuck and boob lift.
Yeah, Audrey said she would as well.
I say that now, but I haven't, and I don't. You know what I mean? But I would like to. Yeah.
But like this is the dialogue.
My boobs
we're trying
are
to
like
fix. We're trying to fix.
I know.
Something.
I'm trying to be okay without thinking it.
We're trying to fix
externally, because
like
you can't fix the external. But like, do you have any kind of embarrassing naked stories or anything?
Do you have a current fear of like walking through the woods and being caught like having a wee with your butt?
Facing
people.
Full moon.
There was one story about getting with an ex-girlfriend of mine, and I slept over in her house, obviously, and her bedroom's here, and the door, it was just across a hallway, but the living room was there. Yeah. The door was always open. It was like an open plan living room, kitchen, apartment situation. And I didn't know she had a housemate, never met him before or whatever. And I was still drunk when I woke up, and I slammed the door open and ran across the hallway. And all that he said, he just like turned his head, like just a bum.
A bum
in the doorway before I'd gone all the way into the room.
Well, we were talking about the varus because, you know, the varus is generally called for the balls arse section, but my friends were saying, well, then the varus is on the women, is that kind of middle, the perineum, I suppose is what it's called. And then we were saying like, the fear of falling asleep hungover at a party, like, and like just the varus hanging out, and someone coming in and, oh no, not the varus.
Oh no!
And Fergal has a thing where he's like, he was in an apartment, like they shared an apartment on a J1, and he went into the bathroom. He's like, okay, we've got a pair of knickers here, sunny side up situation.
Oh god,
sunny side up. That's like, and actually, I did a gynecologist reel about 3 weeks ago now, and one thing that was commenting on, what's that?
The thing, you know,
the gynecology.
The sunny side up. Sunny side up. You're like, oh god.
We did the gynecology reel, and loads of people were like, the thing about the knickers, like you kind of like you're folding your knickers up and putting them in. Oh my god! Actually, sorry, very funny story. Myself and Danielle were living with my dad, so we were about 22 at the time. And we have a big back garden that's slightly elevated. The conservatory's out in the back, and you can see into the garden. And we had 2 dogs at the time that used to always run around the garden. And Danielle was up in bed. Sorry, it's so funny. And Danzer was up in bed, and the 2 dogs were running around.
You spread the shit on Danielle.
I know. Sorry, Jack. Sorry, Danzer. But Danzer's up in bed, and there was a family in from Dad's church. Like they'd come back from the church, and Danzer just heard the dogs barking at the back, and then she just heard the mother of the family being like, oh, look at that. What does that wee dog have in his mouth? And Danielle looked at the back, and he had a pair of her dirty knickers.
Welcome to Sephora. I'm looking for a perfume that's not too perfumey.
I got you.
Serum moisturizer or moisturizer serum.
Let's get into layering.
My concealer is making me look worse.
Sounds like the wrong shade. Let's get you matched.
There's only one store that really gets what you're going for. Get beauty from people who get beauty. Only at Sephora.
Hi, Let's get you a basket.
This is a Bose moment. It's 10 blocks from the train to your apartment door. 10 basic, boring city blocks until the beat drops in Bose clarity. Streetlights become spotlights as you strut down the sidewalk, your own personal runway. With Bose, you get every note, every bass line, every detail, just as you should. Those 10 blocks, they could be the best part of your day. Your life deserves music. Your music deserves Bose. Find your perfect product at Bose.com.
They used to go in
just like flailing around.
Just running around the soil knickers. And they used to get into our knickers, and then they'd come out and they'd eat right through the gusset of them.
Yeah, eating the crotch off.
Just the crotch off. And you'd be like, you've ruined my good
Leave
ones.
the asshole bit.
They were the $3.50 ones in pennies. They weren't the fucking €1 ones in pennies. You ruined them now.
Flailing around with the knickers.
Dogs are fucking disgusting.
Yeah. And what's your relationship with food like now?
Probably not the healthiest it could be.
Do you like binge?
When I was in the hospital, I was like, I'd go and get a pack of
Chicken
Maltesers.
fricassee.
Yeah, chicken fricasse in the hospital. Fucking hell, that was delicious.
I'll have 3 portions, please.
No, I have a good relationship with food now. I think.
I do not.
Do you not? No, because you just don't. You don't.
There's
you
no
could
off
starve
button.
yourself until.
But there's no off button
Oh,
when
you
it comes to
binge.
eating.
Oh, how was your spice bag yesterday?
Awful. Disappointing.
Remorse.
Yeah.
I did have that yesterday because we went to the cinema and I gorged on jellies and popcorn.
I only have remorse at a certain time of the month. All the way through, I can like talk those bad thoughts away.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah.
I don't think food is like serves.
You eat to live, don't you? You don't live to eat. I'm the opposite.
Yeah,
I love
do
food. I love cooking,
food.
you see. I love baking.
I was gaslighting myself for so fucking long about the love for cooking. That's bullshit. I fucking hate cooking.
But you
I
know
would
what
like,
happened with me?
You know, I would eat things out of the pot and not even bother taking a plate out or like doing a whole ceremony as sitting down with a glass of wine. I just have 3 munches and that'd be.
Well, do you know what's
done.
happened with me is I used to cook. Like if I was making a curry, it would have been steeping for 5 hours. Like I would work from home, so it would be like slow cooking for 5 hours, and then I would have made like literally flatbreads in the pan and coriander and butter and shit. I would just do it in between meetings and stuff, but like slow cooking. But and then it would be so condensed between 5:30 and 6:30 or 7 when we would be eating. I would be running myself ragged in the kitchen to do this, and then I'd do a story on it on social media. And it was just this people pleaser thing. It was just this again. It was really definitely a maladaptive behaviour.
But I also knowing you this and having been over to your house where you put on a fantastic spread of a chicken, and some packet farm ham.
Yeah.
What else was there? There was
it doesn't
beautiful
matter, salads and stuff.
The
Yeah.
chicken was absolutely stunning. But I feel because I know these backstories to you, I feel that there's an inherent connection with trauma and cooking.
Yeah, possibly.
That hasn't separated itself yet, because I know you do everything with purpose and in a real rush.
Yeah.
But I think that there is something, and I feel I could be wrong. I don't know if you've ever analysed yourself.
No, it's drink. So I would have been
because you don't have the drink now. That there's something still not
so it
not
would have
say
been
negative, but like still attached.
You're close. So it would have been a good excuse for me to drink if I was cooking. While I'm cooking, I'd go drink. So it was like I'm getting away from the kids, I'm getting away from work, I'm getting away from anxiety, and I was able to put my headphones in and have a glass of wine and I'd cook. So the meals would invariably get more elaborate because the more elaborate they were, and then there's this huge payoff.
The longer you could have time to spend doing that.
When I came back from the hospital, my first dinner time with the kids, I sat down.
Were you freaking out?
Physically shaking. Now, I had made something like a fucking lasagna. It's something very, 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 very straightforward. Or was it even a takeaway? I don't remember. But I was physically shaking for 2 hours. I was like, Fergal, I can't relax. So he said, look, then we were like,
after or before the dinner or during?
Before, during and after, because it was such a pressure point for me because the kids would be screaming.
Because you're launching
Fergal
into something and you have to provide.
But I just put needless pressure on myself I put myself under needless pressure for just making this stupid. And so now I make very simple meals. I do bake, and actually baking for me is self-care.
Oh my God, that custard thing was fucking amazing.
I love baking because baking I don't have to bake. I only bake because I choose. Whereas dinner time is coming at 7 o'clock. You have to make it. You know, it's really stressful time. The kids are just in the door from school. They're stressed. I'm stressed. Stupid. Like
nothing wrong with fucking fish fingers and waffles. Lads.
I make meatballs, or I make nice stuff, but very simple curry, meatballs, chicken and chorizo. Really simple things, and that feels like an act of self-care to me.
So you have kind of changed it in your mind.
I've totally changed it. Like, so you came up for lunch, you and Audrey came up for lunch, and we had the chicken.
But like for other people, not just your family, that
totally
kind of changes the tone.
Changed it. However, you guys came up for lunch. That would have been something much bigger. That would have been like a curry and or like extravagant dessert. It would have been much
and the
bigger.
Extravagance
or a
is
fish
then,
pie and a blah blah blah.
Yeah, the extravagance is then connected to the thing that was so traumatized. Wow,
yeah,
that's
so
fucking
what
crazy.
I had
isn't
with
it?
you when you came up, it was cold cut salad and rolls and cheese.
Yeah,
like that's a very fuck. I could do it with my eyes closed. Do you know what I mean? That was you thought it was lovely. I just put a chicken in the oven. Do you know what I mean? That was actually
I've
me
never put a
playing
chicken in the oven.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Never put a chicken in the oven.
I've completely digressed. But look, I think it's,
I do cook a mean steak though.
I think it is. I think we need to.
You thought I was vegan because I'm a lesbian.
I did. I did. And it was more the tunnels.
Stereotype.
It was more the tunnels.
Oh, really?
Yeah, tunnels are kind of vegan.
Someone said it to me again the other day.
You're vegan.
You're vegan, aren't you?
Yeah, it's the tunnels. It's the
Never
tunnels
been.
in the hair. To round it off, I think in all of these things, when it comes to image, eating, how we treat our bodies, how we polish our bodies for other people. I think really it comes down to trying to ensure you're doing it for the right reasons, and that's hard, and that is something that's going to take time. Are you baking this because you need validation? Are you baking this? Are you eating this?
Because it's going to be delicious.
Are you eating this because you're feeding something that really needs to be fed? Are you not eating that because you're starving yourself? Are you putting that lipstick on because you think it'll cheer you up? Are you putting this lipstick on because you think society needs? And I think we need to, and like that is an exhausting part of womanhood, is that we need to examine this choices we make and go, is this the right reason? Because unfortunately, as millennials who grew up as women in the 90s and 2000s, we were conditioned a certain way, and now we have to fucking unwire ourselves and do it again. But I think that's what I'm doing these days anyway.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. I'm just still trying to figure out. It's all a muddle in my head because I'm just like a lot of dietary things I know could become better, which would then in turn make me become more confident, which then in turn would make me more motivated to go to the gym. Yeah. But I just find that, especially having ADHD and a bad version of it, the X-rated version, everything is all so tangled that if I get into something, like I went 4 days in a row at 6:30, like as I said previously, and you were like, wow, well done. I knew as it started it wasn't going to last long, and that's disappointing for me because I'm a perpetual cycle, and this can apply to every area of my life, and the sensitivities towards clothes and appearance, that's more of a fear. So I'm disappointed in myself for letting that take over. Okay. Do you know what I mean? So it's more like,
that's a much deeper thing.
It's not pushed out for other people. It's like all internalized. Yeah. And I'm only realizing that now. Yeah, which is awesome.
Good session.
So I can work on it then.
Good session, Abby. Okay, so next week we'll be talking about haircuts. That's good. And it is actually interesting. I didn't think when we started this topic, I didn't think we'd get there's so much mental health and emotion involved in it, but there really is. All right, okay, bye. Ladies. Bye.